Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jack of all trades and today I'm going to discuss with you which company I recently bought. The answer to the question is Nvidia. Let's have a look. So the topics we're going to discuss today is what is Nvidia doing, why did I buy Nvidia, how is the valuation and what are the risks. It's good to know I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say is my personal opinion, so before you buy anything, do your own research. And while we're at it, I'm a beginning YouTube channel, so please help me out. You can do that by subscribing, by liking and by commenting, so please do that. So what does Nvidia do? Nvidia makes graphics processing units, GPUs. They do that in several markets. The main market that they're doing well at is data centers, and data centers have been booming the last couple of years, but especially the last year because of the uprising of AI. They do not only make the GPUs, but they provide a whole package which includes a platform, software and libraries. The GPUs were initially used for gaming, but they're also making them for professional visualization, for auto and for OEM and other applications. So their main business is making GPUs, but they're used in different markets. So why did I decide to buy Nvidia? Well, there's several reasons. First of all, and that's the main one, is the development of AI. It has skyrocketed the company, but also the stock price. Nvidia has a very big market share and the competition is very low because it's technological, very advanced, and the technological advantage that they have over their competition is very big. It's not just AI and data centers that they're good at, but they're very good at gaming and other markets, which also have a high potential in the future. So it's not just one bet that you're going for. And even though everything is going well, the valuation is still very high. So that's something to look at later on. So let's dive a little bit deeper. Why did I buy the company? Well, the main reason is AI. As you can see, I made a very short snippet of some websites showing the influence of AI and why Nvidia has such a big influence on it. But the last year, it was impossible to miss the development of AI. The rise of ChatGPT, but also following Google and other companies, have given Nvidia a very big boost. As you can see on the right side, it is predicted that AI is only just beginning and it's going to take over the world more and more and more. You can see the big rise from 2022 to what is predicted 10 years later in 2032. So AI is booming and Nvidia is a big part of it. So the market that they're serving is doing well. And that's a good thing because they have a huge market share. As you can see on the left side of all the data center GPUs, Nvidia has been making 92% of them. AMD has made 3% and all the other companies made 5% together. So Nvidia is big. So if the market of AI is increasing, then the absolute amount of Nvidia is also increasing, which is very good for them in their future revenues and profits. Well, it doesn't really matter which models and platforms are used because Nvidia is providing the chips to all of them. And as you can see on the right side, Nvidia built a competitive moat around AI chips, is that they're very good at making the chips, but they're also a one-stop shop for AI. So they have software and other services that they deliver. So for companies like Microsoft or Amazon, it's very easy to go to Nvidia and get the full package. So let's have a quick look at the latest sheets that were shared by Nvidia over their Q4 fiscal year 24 numbers. It's good to mention that Nvidia finishes their fiscal year in January 24. So Q4 24 for them ends in January 24. You can see that their total revenue has increased year over year with 265% to 22 billion. Their prediction was only 20 billion. So their estimate was relatively low and they surpassed it very easily. And the data centers increased even more with 409% to 18.4 billion, a very big percentage of the total revenue. And gaming also increased to almost 3 billion. The main growth was caused by data centers, which is what Nvidia is relying on the most and is caused by the AI development recently. So let's have a look at the revenue. On the left side, you will see the different markets that they're active in. And if we have a look at Q4 fiscal year 23, so that's in the middle, then you see that the data centers are 3.6 billion and a total of 6 billion in profit. But if you compare that to a year later, Q4 fiscal year 24, you see that the 3.6 of data centers suddenly became 18.4 billion, an insane increase, which has made the total for Nvidia 22.1 billion. So it's very clear that the trend of AI going up has caused data center GPUs to be in high demand, which has been increasing the last year. If we look a little bit deeper in what's underlying the 22 billion that we just discussed in revenue, you can see that the gross margin is 76%, which is very big. And if you compare it to the fiscal years before that, which you can see on the left side, then you can see that it was a lot lower. So not only did they get more revenue, they also got a bigger gross margin. So for every dollar they earn, there is more profit as well. You can see from the other measures that they all increased a lot. The operating income is 13.6 billion, which has almost gone times 10. The net income is 12.3 billion, which has gone up by 769. And the EPS, so the earnings per share, have also gone up by 765%. Let's have a look at the next sheet. This sheet shows the outlook for the next fiscal year, which is February, March, and April in 2024. And they're predicting the revenue to go up even more. As I discussed earlier, they are a little bit conservative when it comes to their outlooks. So I'm expecting the 24 billion to be an easy target to reach. If you look at the gross margin, it was 76%, and they are predicting it to go up slightly, which is good. It's not going down. And the operating expense is expected to be 3.5 billion or 2.5 billion non-GAAP. The difference between GAAP and non-GAAP is GAAP is according to the accounting rules and non-GAAP is their own interpretation. The next sheet will show the valuation. Because everything is going well for Nvidia, the only downside is their high price. So let's see how high it is and if it's a buy or not. So the earnings per share are $4.93 for Q4 fiscal year 24. If we base ourselves on the forecast of Nvidia, then Q1 fiscal year 25 will have an EPS that's about $5.37. This seems very conservative, as I said earlier, because it would only have 24 billion in revenue, knowing that quarter over quarter the revenue has been increasing a lot. If we extend that EPS to Q2 and Q3, then the total EPS will be $22.36 for the whole year, which again is also a conservative estimate. And since I paid around $900 for the shares, it will be a PE of about 40. This is very expensive, I know. But as I said, all the estimations are very conservative. They're based on the short term, so the increase might be more and more in the upcoming years. And the valuation is not likely to come down, knowing what the hype is around AI and the part that Nvidia is taking in this hype. So for me, this was enough reason to buy the stock, but I can understand that for some people this would be too expensive. I'm willing to pay this amount for this company and the trust that I have in them and their management. Of course, it's not only upside when it comes to Nvidia. There are several risks we will have to look at and we will have to accept before anyone would decide to buy Nvidia. First of all, they have a technological advantage, but as with any technology, there can be a technological game changer that would disrupt their current market position. I don't think that's very likely to happen in the short term, but it's something to think about before you buy Nvidia. It's also possible that within the technological setting, the competition will catch up. It's not unlikely that will happen in some way, but their current advantage is so big that I believe they will keep their moat for a while. Another thing is that the chips supply chain is very complicated. There are a lot of companies involved and they're all in a very international setting. So because the supply chain is very complicated, it is very susceptible to interruption. This could be due to war, due to political tension, or just to lack of materials. There are many reasons that the supply chain can be interrupted, and that's a risk for Nvidia. They might have the clients, but they might not be able to deliver the chips. And the fourth one is actually the combination of the earlier three. If the growth is stopping or it slows down, then it means I pay too much for it right now. I'm expecting a lot of growth, therefore I'm willing to pay a high PE. But if the growth is not there, then I pay too much right now, and then it's not a good thing. So that's a big risk for buying Nvidia. Well, we're at the end of the video. I hope you got to understand why I bought Nvidia. I hope you also understand the risks. So if you want to make a decision by yourself, you could look at both the upside and the downside. I hope this video was useful to you. If you got any value out of it, then please leave a like, leave a comment, and please subscribe to the channel if you want any more of these updates in the future. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you next time.